What up? Here's another video by Efi's Voice. You know what this video is about? Something I need to say. Here I go. We're all human, right? Should race really matter? We're all human, right? Should race really matter? For a while I've been hearing people say we're all human. Love has no color. We're all human. Uh, we all bleed red. We all human. Race, love has no color. We're all just human. We're all human. Should race really matter? What is your opinion on that? What is your stance? I want to go in depth about it on like what people's stance on it. War human, should race really matter? My opinion is that we're all human. Yes, we're human. Everything on Earth, everything on this planet is a human experience given through us through God, and we're all made in God's image, and we're all just like we're human. We're all experiencing the human. Wait, I'm playing. We're all experiencing a human experience. We're all human underneath it all. I do think we have variations in culture and cultures. So race I feel does come into the picture a little bit, even though we all are human. Because at the end of the day, you got to respect someone. We all At the end of the day, we're all a little different from each other. At the end of the day, we're all a little different from each other. We're all human, but you got to respect differences. Even within the own ethnicities, there's differences. So we're all human, but the human experience is a very complex experience. There's different ethnicities, different cultures, and different races. I feel, So we're all human, though. You shouldn't just because you're a different culture, a different ethnicity, a different race doesn't mean doesn't completely alienate you from the human experience that all humans go through. So we all go through the human experience, but the because we have different cultures, ethnicities, and races, we all vary in the way we see things or our perspectives, and that's a good thing in life. It's good to have different perspectives, different different ways of seeing things, different ideas, just being different in a general text, in a general way. If just see it like that. Life will be the reason why people say love, race, we're all human. We see no color, but that's all. That's really crap when I think of it, because you wouldn't say that. You would be really bored, and you wouldn't like it if we were all just the black race, if we were all just the white race, Caucasians, if we were all just Indians, if we were all just Asians, if we were all just Native Americans, you wouldn't like it. You'd be bored. You wouldn't like it like that. If we were all just one race, I don't think people would really like it. So part of what makes the human experience a great theme is the fact that we have different cultures, different ethnicities, and different races. That don't negate because we are all human, though, we can all relate with each other. So the human experience is a great experience. We have variations in culture, ethnicities, and races. But don't forget that our differences is what helps make the beauty in life and make life so rich in certain ways. The love has no color, yeah, but part of the reason why you like that person, or you relate with that person, or you get along with that person, or like that person in a general sense, is because they may have a different culture. It's because they may have a different ethnicity. It's because they may be of a different race. That's part of the reason why you may like them a little bit. But underneath it all, we all share the human experience, and because we're all human, we all relate to the universal human experience of all races, cultures, and ethnicities. The commonality of the human experience makes us all relate with each other, and that's why sometimes people say love has no color. But just take it like this: if you would all not see, if you would all not see race, if you would all not see race and just treat everybody like they're human, people would get very, very, very I don't want to say ignorant, but very, I don't know, what's the word for it? They would get very, they wouldn't respect you in certain lights sometimes. I've noticed that when we see things as just we're all human and love, and I don't see race, and people deal with issues that they deal with on an everyday basis, I find that people get very, 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 me very, what's the word? mm, very ignorant, and very oppressive, and very racist. In other words, to not racist, well, a little racist to you, a little bit. Just a little ignorant, a very mean and intolerable. They don't tolerate certain things, or don't understand, or don't know how to get along with certain people. Sometimes, I realize, sometimes people, if you just see it as a human, we're all just a human race and the human experience, and we're just human. People generally don't respect. That's the word. People generally don't respect each other. Sometimes, I find people have a hard time respecting other people's perspectives, viewpoints, ideologies, and circumstances if we all see each other as just human. The respect just goes out the window. People don't tolerate what they usually tolerate. People don't understand what they usually understand, and people don't get along the way they usually get along if we just see the human as just being a human race without being different cultures, ethnicities, and races, because people sometimes tend to not respect people that much when you don't have these boundaries in line, so just realize that part of the human experience is being part of the rich human experience is having different cultures, ethnicities, and races. That's what makes being a human very rich. That's what makes the human experience an enjoyable one, a likable one, and a rich one. Don't deny different cultures, races, and ethnicities, because that's part of what makes up the human experience. Just believe that. To ignore that would be ignoring what God has created for us, So don't ignore what God has created for us, Just realize that, just realize that it's a beautiful thing to have different cultures, ethnicities, and races. It's a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. It's part of what makes up the human experience. It's a rich experience. Just learn to respect each other, because I find, like I said before, people, if you just see it as a human experience and just human, people generally don't respect people. I just noticed that. If you're just just human experience, people cross the line sometimes. People don't understand, or people or don't tolerate people, or don't respect people. Really, they really step out of their bounds sometimes, and it's just that's probably why that's just what I see. So we are part of the human experience. Part of the human experience is a rich experience, is a cultural experience, is ethnicity, is race, and that's what makes us up. That's the way God created us. That's what human beings are. So don't deny the fact that the human experience has different races, ethnicities, and cultures. We all are different in different ways. We can't relate with each other because we all are part of it. We're all human, but don't deny our differences, because that leaves room for ignorance and disrespect and racism and stuff like that. So that's what this video is about. We're all human, right? So just realize that we're all part of the human race, but just realize we have different cultures, ethnicities, and races, and don't be ashamed to say it. There's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't mean you're ignorant if you see that. You shouldn't ignore the ethnicities, races, or cultures. It's part of the human experience, the way God created us, and that's just the way we are. So love it. Peace.